Hey YouTube, we were hoping to do the face of Daniel, and we ended up basically not doing the entire face. We just sort of went up to it. But I know that there was a lot of people that wanted to see what this looked like, both in our Jeep group and also that went down to Uwharrie that weren't ready for this. And then also, I also know that there was a lot of people I know in Pennsylvania that were kind of interested in seeing this also. To get here, you basically take a one-lane road to get to this parking lot. This is the Cotton Place OHV parking lot, and this would be the entrance to the Daniel Trail. And this is the face side of it. This is not the side of it that we did with the Jeep group. The footage you already saw was the other side, the back side of Daniel, going up to the summit. And so this will probably be some new footage that quite a few of the people in our group had never seen before. So anyway, this type of terrain probably looks pretty similar to the terrain that we saw like on Dutch John and Rocky Mountain Loop. It's basically just like dirt humps. There's not really any crazy obstacles on the lower section of the trail leading up to this is the Daniel Trail, so I can't really say the trail leading up to Daniel, but the trail leading up to the face of Daniel, and the face is really the main obstacle in the Uwharrie Park that is probably like the most difficult obstacle in the park. And it's so difficult that a lot of people come to this park and they never even see the obstacle because they don't want to do it or whatever, or they can't do it. And it is a little bit of a dangerous obstacle in that if you don't know what you're doing, you could probably get yourself in a lot of trouble. So we kind of have this rule that we follow and we stick to it pretty thoroughly, even though you see that we're breaking it right now. And the rule that we stick to is basically we always go out with two Jeeps, like always. Like you always go out with two Jeeps. That way, if one Jeep breaks down, you have the other Jeep to assist with, getting you unstuck, or even getting you off the trail, because you don't want to be 10 miles in on some trail somewhere and you have no means to get out of there. So obviously, I mean, there was another Jeep in the parking lot, so we're not like 100% alone, but we are kind of breaking our rule that we have of not going out alone. But at this point, we're not really doing anything that's just too overly challenging, so you kind of have to set a threshold for yourself on where you need to stop and where you can continue and actually do the trail. And obviously, we can't do the face of Daniel like by ourselves. For anybody that's actually done the face of Daniel, that's kind of stupid in my opinion to do that. But I was mainly wanting to come up here and see it because we did this face of Daniel 2 years ago, and then the last time we came up last year, we were hoping to do it. However, either this trail or the trail above it was washed out and you couldn't do the face, or it wasn't connected or something. So there was no option at all last Thanksgiving to do the face of Daniel. And this Thanksgiving, when we came down here, there was a very small group of us, like there was two or three of us that were considering doing the face. And the person that was going to be spotting everybody that was planning on doing it with us, he broke his Jeep. And that kind of, took the air out of everybody's um, um, parade or whatever, or sale or whatever. Took the air out of everybody's sale. So that made it so basically, we didn't do it. And I swear we are going to get to an interesting looking obstacle. I'm just like, letting people see the trail. So there's like a little bit of a bigger bump. The obstacle, I believe, is up here on the right. So there is a bypass right there where people have tried to make a bypass, and Uwharrie uses these very interesting metal barriers to really like tell you that you need to actually go over the gatekeeper. You cannot go around it. So this is it right here, and it probably does not look anywhere near as challenging as it is. Um, so you can see the hood, and I'm just going to try to like maybe put my tire up on it, and I'm just like kind of looking at it, trying to figure out like the tire placement. The last time we were here, we went up the left side of it, which was a bad idea, and everybody else was going up the right hand side, which apparently is like the easier line. And so you can see like right here, I'm just like, hey, can I get up it? And at this point, my bumper is actually flat against the rock. Like that's how steep it is. So this is basically almost a vertical cliff going up, or like a set of steps. And the size of these steps going up to the top of the trail up there is probably about 100 feet. So it's not as big as the wall at Roush Creek, because there's a humongous wall, but you can see that I'm just standing next to it, and I'm like, where is the line? And obviously, when you have an obstacle like this, you can't go flat up against it to go up it, if it's this steep. So instead, what you have to do is you have to tilt the vehicle some, and if you tilt your vehicle some against the edge, you can get one of the wheels to catch, and then you can go up it. And obviously, we shouldn't be going too far up this trail because, like I said, we don't have anybody with us, and but I'm just kind of fiddling around with like the first like 1 foot of the trail. Like literally, I'm just trying to figure out, well, where is the spot in which it can catch. And you can see how difficult this trail is, and that like even with lockers and 40-inch tires, you can't just like go like right up this trail. When you can see that like I can stand next to the obstacle, and that obstacle, you can see me standing there, and like I'm 6 feet tall. Like that's a 6 foot tall obstacle in front of me. And so what I was considering at this point was whether or not I would feel comfortable spotting other people up this hill. And I had come to the conclusion that if I had like my regular PA people with me, that I know really really well, that like I'd be 100% comfortable going up this trail. But I was not really all that comfortable with trying to spot people up this trail that I hadn't wheeled with like extensively. And I finally found, I think, the line to just start to go up it. And there it is right there. There's a line to go up it. So I finally did find a line. I'm like, okay, so this is the spot, the way to cock the wheels to get it to go up. And it looks like we were pointed up in the air. We are kind of pointed up in the air, but literally I'm just like maybe 2 feet like onto the trail. Like my back tires still haven't even left the ground. And I'm just really kind of fascinated with playing with with the base of this obstacle, and it would make no sense at all to try to go up an obstacle like this by myself, because obviously you could roll the Jeep, you could tip it over, you could get stuck on this trail. I mean, I know I have a winch and everything like that, but this unfortunately is about as much of the trail that we did. And then the other side where you see that barrier at the top up there, like that is basically the part of Daniel that you see in the other video where you see is like going up and down the summit. And all this stuff that you see on the right over here, where you can see there's some tire tracks and stuff, this is people attempting to go around this obstacle to try to figure out how to go up it. And from my understanding, you can't even really go around like the entire obstacle.
Hey guys, so I came out here to check out the face of Daniel. This is the face behind me. This is the main obstacle here. I will stand up next to the main obstacle here. You can see that it's a sheer rock wall basically. It's really hard to tell from the footage. I actually had to climb up here. The Jeep's bumper was actually like right about here on the obstacle. So it's about, let's see, maybe twice as big as the hardest spot on Tip Top, on the easiest spot. And then once you get up in there, there's a couple more spots that are probably similar to like maybe the hardest spot on Tip Top twice in a row. Like height wise, this first one right here, 6 feet. I'm 6 foot tall, and you can tell that like the first obstacle is about 6 feet tall. So anyway, that's the face. We're gonna see if we can find a group to go out with tomorrow to do it. But that's the most challenging part of Uwharrie Park, like just that little tiny section right there. The rest of it is pretty easy peasy to get up to it.
So now that you're seeing this video, obviously we did not find a group to go up this part of the trail. Basically everybody in the group was doing the summit, which is like the backside of Daniel, and then playing around on the substantially easier part of the trail. Yeah, I don't want to say it's too easy, because two of the Jeeps that we had with us that were like on 35s like didn't make it up the harder part, and they had to back down and go a different route. So but it is honestly a lot easier than this part of Daniel in my mind. So anyway, so this is the same exact trail for Daniel, but this is just going down it back to the Cottingwood parking lot, in case you want to just see like what the rest of the trail looks like. Literally, for the face, Once you make it up the face, there's maybe another 50 feet a trail or 100 feet of trail. It's not that much once you make it past that big giant monster rock wall. And that's the connector between the bottom of the summit where you can see me make a U-turn basically, and that rock wall there. And like I was trying to say, I mean, you want to set forth some rules like before you do anything, especially something that is dangerous. Dangerous meaning, you can hurt yourself. And you want to stick to those rules. And the rule that we had, well, like I said, was we don't do any dangerous trails. We try to do as few trails as possible without having another Jeep with us or another vehicle with us. Even though that we did Windrock and there was a side, I was in a side by side, my wife was in a Jeep. At least there was two of us, and one of us, could get out of there and go get help. So I hope you enjoyed it, and please like and subscribe, and hopefully we'll do Daniel next year.